Hey everyone, it's Jen with DP Addiction Adventures, and I am so excited that our collab is finally started. I have been waiting since February, March for this to actually happen, and it's May, June. So I am super excited to have this collab with Elizabeth Inslee and using crystal canvas art with Amy Reed on this beautiful canvas. Please hang in there. We're going to tell stories about my camping and outdoor experiences. We're going to talk about some Golden Girls, and I'm going to tell you how to enter in the contest for the rest of the collab. So hang in there, stay tuned, and go grab your favorite Amy Reed crystal canvas or your craft that you have. I have this one up here, I have this one, and I'm about to go purchase a whole bunch more from her. I love you all. I cannot wait to jump into this WIP and chat with you. So I will see you on the other side. I am so excited that you are joining me for this collab with Elizabeth Inslee and crystalcanvas.us, basically crystal art. And we chose, if you watch the unboxing video, this beautiful piece because it represents Earth Day. Now, I know there was some confusion with the unboxing. Elizabeth and I did the unboxing pre-pandemic. We were trying to get ahead so that we could release them and basically have most of the collab done before we released videos. However, then the pandemic hit. You can't unbox something you've already unboxed, and there was a lot of really good detail in there, and I didn't want to have to recreate it. So thank you so much for hanging in there, and I'm so sorry for the confusion, but I think we're up and going now. But I also wanted to take you from start to finish in how I prep a diamond painting, and you are along for the ride. I'm going to move this out just a little bit in like a wide angle, and as you can see, here's the whole picture. It is clear cover. I've already kitted up the crystals. They're absolutely gorgeous. I'm super excited about that. This has 27 colors in it. And then what I do with clear covers, thank you so much to my friends on YouTube with Ginger. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this beautiful day, so much fun, because you know, it looks like a beautiful day on this canvas. And I'm going to be dividing it up into bite-sized pieces. Basically what I do is I just estimate about how much width-wise I want to do. I was watching a crafting channel, and I was like, what are they doing? They took one of their trays or a credit card or something, and they just like ripped it off like that. That was pretty cool. I wanted to share that little tip with you. Then let's see, I'll do it like this. Sometimes I do it in half and then in fourths, but I'm just eyeballing it right now. Do that, and then I'm gonna use my cool little tray tip, rip. Now this tray doesn't, it's much easier, I think, if you had a card, but I don't have one right now on me. And then I'm gonna do this. This is where I choose, once I have, you know, one way, I choose, okay, how much do I actually want to do it in one sitting? Do I want it to be small, like, you know, this, or do I want it large? I think for this one, I'm actually going to be using my mesh ruler. And that's one thing I didn't check to see. Let's see. Okay, so it lines up going up and down like this. I'm going to leave these open because I can then use my mesh ruler in the lengthwise. I made the mistake on the Gerber daisy of dividing this in half, and then my mesh ruler went over the half. I will have a link down below for this mesh ruler. You can either get it on Amazon, which I'll have the Amazon link. With the pandemic, I have been paying a little bit more money and using Amazon to make sure I get it. Or I'll also have a link for AliExpress if you want it a little bit cheaper. Now that this is ready, I'm gonna flip it and I'm gonna put you guys in just a little bit closer so we can see better. I'm on a tripod that moves super easily, so just give it a moment and it'll no longer earthquake. The next thing I do is I pick a cover minder I want. You know what? I'm going to actually pick one of my gnomes. This is by Diamond Painting by Donnie, Drill Pen Frenzy. Down below, if you scroll down to the Etsy places, you will see her link down there. I'll try to remember to put it on the top so that it's easier to find. My friend got me these gnomes, and they're absolutely adorable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of eyeball measure this. And I got this new thing, and I'll link in the little eye right here. I just did an unboxing of it, and it cuts the cover. It's like an X-Acto knife without the blade, because it's a ceramic blade. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little thing right there. On my unboxing, I showed it on an opaque cover. So I decided I wanted to show you on this clear cover. And I changed my mind. I'm going to actually measure this out and put washi tape all the way down so I have a way to cut down the piece a little bit more straight. So give me a minute to measure this. Looks like about right here. The nice thing is the little circles are gonna help me keep my straight line. It's gonna take me just a minute to continue to make sure I'm going right down the path, like so. And then what I'll do is I'll use this to cut. And I'm going to use this edge because if you watched my unboxing, I was really struggling with cutting straight. I'm a little nervous. I didn't want to cut into the glue. Okay. Let's see how we did. Ooh, that cut really well. Can you see that? Nice and smooth. Let me put this behind it. Oh, I lost it. Like, where'd it go? It cut really well. All right, so I'm gonna pull this up. And if you're new to diamond painting, basically a cover minder is something decorative that has a magnet on the back of it. And then you can put a magnet behind your cover and it holds things in place. I give props to both Donnie and Stitcherista for coming up with this because they used needle minders for cross stitch, and they thought, well, why wouldn't this work for diamond painting? All right, so I got my little gnomes to keep me company. Okay. Another thing I'm going to do is use washi tape on the border. Now, because this is poured glue, usually it doesn't come over the border that much. This one does a little bit, but I know me and my sweater's gonna get in it, or my t-shirt, or my hand. And so this keeps the fuzz out. Now, the one thing about the mesh ruler is you're not able to do a large space. You are giving up the ability to diamond paint faster. However, if you want it to be nice and straight, this is something really good to do. And it's a little calming to me. Put on my light pad. If you want a light pad, there is a link down below. This is an amazing light pad. I absolutely love it. I just entered my second year of using it, and it's still working like a charm. Working like a charm. All right, Elizabeth, are you caught up with me yet? How you doing on your diamond painting? I'm so excited Amy got her delivery. Did you see those pictures? If you haven't, go to her Facebook group. I'll put the link down below. There's so many links down below, guys. Check it out. I wanted to go and just play, and I was joking about, hey, look over there, that's mine. I had no idea if it was. I think the whole UPS truck, maybe 2 UPS trucks, I don't know, were hers. This is an Archer Arts tray I'm using. And this color is gorgeous. F is the color. I do not have on me what the DMCs are, but we're just gonna dive in right here at the top. And while we're diving in, I'm going to tell some stories. I thought because this was like an Earth Day collab, this would be an amazing time to talk to you about my experience outdoors and camping, different things. And so the first story I wanted to tell you was about my childhood. We had these plant a tree options at school in the spring. You could purchase a small little baby tree, a little sapling. I don't know if it was $1 or $5. I cannot remember. And then you would come home with this little sapling and you could plant it in your backyard. And I used to get these beautiful little saplings that had they were pine trees, but it was the feather pine trees. It wasn't the sharp, bristly ones. I loved them. I remember going out with my mom, picking a spot in the garden that if the tree did grow, it would be beautiful. And I loved this tree. I would get them, I would plant them, and what would happen, I don't know. Like a squirrel or a bunny or something that first or second day would come and eat the top of the tree. And I would come and the top half would be on the ground. The bottom half would just be a stick out of the ground, and I would cry and cry and cry. And finally, like the third year, my parents were like, Jennifer, we're not going to buy you another tree because the bunnies or the squirrels keep eating them. And I begged them and begged them. Well, my sister was now in school, and so she had that same opportunity, and we both brought our trees home. Guess what? Mine was the one that got sawed in half by somebody's little bite. My sister's grew. Like, you've got to be kidding. Now, a couple weeks later, something happened to the tree. I can't remember. I don't know if my dad accidentally mowed it over. I don't know if a storm took it out or if it just died. I don't know. But she never was successful with a tree that would grow either. The last year this was available, I ended up getting a prickly pine tree, and we planted it, and it actually took. And so it grew for maybe 15 years. It turned out to be this beautiful tree, and I was married and done with college, and my dad sent me this photo and said, you know what, we really need to take this tree out. It's below these power lines. If it gets any bigger, we won't be able to cut it down ourselves. I begged them. I was like, can we do it as a Christmas tree? I mean, it was full and beautiful and gorgeous. And if I had a picture of it, I would put it in here, but I don't. It was pre-digital age, and so I'd have to go to my parents' house, which is a whole state away, and try to find it. But it was beautiful. We're also highly allergic to pine trees, so we weren't able to cut it down and bring it in and have it as a Christmas tree. I thought, can you tell neighbors or something? Can somebody enjoy it? But it ended up getting cut down, and it was so sad because it was finally, after years and years of trying, a tree that represented that I actually could grow something that some little forest creature wouldn't eat. So that's my tree story. My daughter says I can't even keep fish alive. Hey, I have kept her alive. I've kept 2 dogs alive. I've kept my husband alive. So I think I've kept alive some stuff. Let's see what else we can dive into. Let's do some teas. Tea. What I like about Amy's is what I've gotten so far. Even my Gerber Daisy are mostly letters. And so it's really, really nice to work with. My next story is about being a Girl Scout. I was a brownie, and then I graduated into being a Girl Scout. For those who don't know what Girl Scouts are, it's a program here in the United States. You and there's different levels. I forget what the first level is called because I get it mixed up with another youth program. And then you graduate into a brownie, and then from a brownie into a Girl Scout based on your age. I started out as a brownie, went to be a Girl Scout. Then 7th and 8th grade, we would go on camping trips, and that's where I learned how to make fire. We had so much fun tying strings to wood and rubbing them together super fast to make fire. And we learned about, you know, leaves make smoke and what do pine cones do with fire and how to use kindling and brush. And we had to go look for firewood. It's also where I learned how to make these hobo meals, which are amazing. I still make them now. I just make them in the oven. They are meat that you season, so like ground beef, and you just throw seasoning in. You can either leave it as chunks or you can put it into a burger. Then you put carrots and potatoes and some other hearty vegetables if you want. Anything that takes a long time to cook, otherwise you end up with mush because it's going to be in the fire in the oven for a long period of time. Then I season the bejesus out of it. I put some olive oil in there and then sprinkle in, you know, pepper or Italian seasoning or whatever floats my boat at the time. Based, you know, Mrs. Dash, based on whatever seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, cloves of garlic, whatever you feel like. And then it's in foil. And so there's a bottom piece of foil and a top piece of foil. And then you roll the two pieces of foil together. And it makes like this little foil pie. And you stick it in the hot coals part of the fire and let it cook for 45 minutes to an hour. Then when you open it up, all those seasonings are together. So it's like a deconstructed version of, I don't know, like some sort of casserole. But I make them in the oven as well because we don't have a fire pit, and they're delicious. So I learned how to make that. I also learned how to go to the bathroom in the woods. As a girl, it is so hard, at least for me, to know. I would like try to fall over because I didn't have the balance I needed. And I had so much pee that had gone down my leg because when I squatted, I didn't squat correctly. Oh my gosh. I made sure to always on camping trips bring a lot of socks so that I could, because when you pee on your leg, it goes into your sock. And it's like, seriously, oh. And then I have to put the sock in the plastic baggie I brought because, of course, you're not washing anything. It was crazy. So, yeah, it was crazy. I also realized that if you go camping for longer than a day, you have to go more than pee in the forest. And how do you do that? And digging a hole and toilet paper and just different things. So that was quite the experience. I'm super private and shy when it comes to my body. And so I would walk and walk and walk back into the forest to make sure that nobody would see me by accident. And every now and then, another girl who was just as shy as we would somehow have to go to the bathroom at the same time, and she would do the same thing and walk and walk and walk, and then we'd realize we're like pooping next to each other. Not really, but you know, it wasn't as private as we had hoped. So that was really interesting. I am not a camper. I think I could camp if mosquitoes didn't like me, but there is something about my blood that just attracts them to me, and I get bit. I can be fully covered in a whole container of bug spray. And then on top of that, my husband and I did this experiment one summer. I was doused in bug spray. We had the citronella candles lit. I had the little bracelets that you can get that are citronella on both my ankles and on my wrist. And then I also, at that year, the Off brand had this little fan with a cartridge in it, and you could put it on your belt loop, and it would blow the citronella around you. I had all of this stuff, and then I went to picnic in the woods. We didn't do the camping. Our small group was going camping, but we decided not to camp, but we would just go and be there for the day. And at the end of the day, I still had like 35 bug bites, and they were horrible. They get huge, you know. If I got a bug bite here, it would be this size, and they just itch and itch like I want to rip my skin out. So not only are they super attracted to me, I'm also highly allergic to whatever is on their little nose that goes into your skin. And spider bites, same thing. When I would go camping as a Girl Scout, I would get so many, because we were in tents, and my hand, I like to have my hand under my pillow, and I would just get spider bites all up and down the hand that was under my pillow, sticking out. It was not a fun experience. There was one year that we went camping as Girl Scouts, and there was a tornado warning. And everyone in the camp got into the shelter, but the shelter was not a it wasn't a proper shelter. Basically, we were just under this overhang. There was about 200 of us under this picnic shelter while this tornado was going through the town a couple miles away. When we went back to our tents, our campsite had 3 tents. They were about 6-person size tents, and there was about maybe 12 to 14 of us. Our tents were ripped to shreds, and we had nowhere. I mean, it was pouring down rain and stuff like that. So we all slept in the vans. We were like, okay, we're not dealing with this. And then in the morning, we went back and closed up camp and went home early. So all the firewood was completely soaked. Our clothes were soaked. The tents were ripped up. You know, the food. It was crazy. It's crazy, crazy. Can you see why camping is not the best experience for me? Another thing I wanted to talk about was in high school, I went to Estonia, which is close to the border, if not on the border of Russia, with my youth group. And they decided on the weekend, we were there for 2.5 weeks, and the weekend that was in the middle, that was not a travel weekend, we went on this island in the middle of the Baltic Sea. Now, it was maybe 50 degrees, so the Baltic Sea was like 30 degrees. They didn't tell us that there was no running water and that we would need to shower basically in the Baltic Sea. And again, with being a private person, we went, and our youth pastor decided to stay, instead of 2 days, we stayed 4 days. We were 3 people in a 2-person tent. We decided, because it got so cold at night, the 3 of us girls, we were super close, really good friends. Instead of having 3 sleeping bags, we laid 1 down flat, and then we laid 2 on top of us to keep us warm. But we couldn't zip up the sides, and I was on one side, and the other 2 kept stealing the blankets. So I had no sleep that whole weekend. I was stinky because I didn't go into the Baltic Sea, because I was not going to get into my swimsuit and go into 30-degree temperature. There were boys I liked in the youth group, and I was a larger girl, and so I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. Oh, but I will tell you, at night we would lay on the beach and look up at the stars, and in the middle of that, there's no light pollution. It was a gorgeous, I still have in my memory bank, the stars filled the sky. I mean, you could barely see the black between the stars. It was gorgeous. It was like the pictures you see from NASA or from, you know, storybooks. And we would sit there and count satellites, because you could literally watch the satellite track You could watch it come into play, and then you could watch it leave. We would count shooting stars. We could see shooting stars. We would see 4 or 5 a night. It was just so amazing. I would do it 100 times over again, no matter how cold I was or how stinky I was. I will say I took an hour shower when I got back, and I felt horrible because, you know, I probably used up way too much warm water. And with talking, I just forgot what color I'm using. Am I doing G? Just double check. Yeah, G. It was amazing. That was also something that we would pee in the forest and collect firewood and eat over the fire. It was a pretty good experience living off the land. Don't know. Oh. My last camping story is super funny. It actually is about my family thinking that they're campers, but not. Between my freshman and junior year of college, my parents wanted to have a final family vacation before everybody separated. However, we didn't have money to like go to Disney World or go out west or go overseas or take a cruise. So they invested in this huge tent. It's like a 10-person tent for 3 of us. It was 3 rooms with something in the middle. But my mom is not a camper. I hope she does not kill me that I'm doing this on YouTube. She is not a camper. I love her dearly. She did not want to use the public bathrooms. They found a campsite that had flushable toilets down the way. That's not going to fit through the mesh ruler. And showers, you just had to walk to them. And they drove up to Michigan because they're from Ohio. I was in school in Michigan, so I drove down to meet them. They had bought a toilet, a flushable toilet, a portable one, to put in the room. So let me draw this out for you. So the tent was I'm just going to draw a triangle, but it was circular, okay? So it had 4 rooms. You had a room over here, a room here, and a room here, and then here's your entrance. And there's this main area. And these were flaps, so you could open all of this up, or you could zip it down and have 3 rooms. These rooms were so big that she had 2 queen-size blow-up beds in these rooms, okay? With sheets and pillows and comforters, not sleeping bags. Then this is where the toilet resided. So we had our own bathroom in our tent. I'm telling you, people. I have the peanut gallery, Skunkilla, in the background. If you hear her talking or laughing, I don't think she's heard this story. No. Then we had one post out here that had 2 plugs in it. And then we had a picnic bench, and then over here was the fire, and then our van sat right here in the little drive. She had brought extension cords so that we could have boxed fans to blow on us during the summer, okay? Then during the day out here, she would put the box fan up on the table to blow on her. She had her curling iron, she had her curlers, and she had her makeup set up. And she would sit here on the bench with curlers in her hair. And I remember sitting over here in the fire, and people would drive by and they would honk and they would wave, and I just was mortified because here is my mom attempting to camp, but like as if she were at a hotel. So I was over here making the fire and doing s'mores and different things like that. Yeah, it was I love them and we had so much fun, but it was just so unreal because I just told you my Girl Scout story of pooping in the woods, and here now fast forward 12 years and I'm now going in a flushable toilet in the tent. So that was just an experience. I mean, it is burned into my head. There was this pickup truck that drove by and was waving, and at her and she was waving back, and I was just, I don't know, but it was so much fun. And my mom is amazing. She always knew how to make fun from nothing. I love her dearly. She is like my hero of mass proportions. Whenever I had to tell who is your hero, it was usually my mom that I said, because she just is an amazing woman and knows how to make you laugh and knows how to make a good time out of nothing. And I'm so proud to have her as my mom. I'm getting all teary-eyed. You can't see it, but I am. But I just wanted to share those stories of the great outdoors as Elizabeth and I start this Earth Day crystal canvas, crystal art collab, and I wanted to share it with you. I'd love to hear, do you like to camp? Do you not like to camp? And just some stuff down in the comments. Now, this is also not only a collab, this is also a way to win prizes. So the next, this is going to be the first release of the collab. It's going to be a couple weeks long. I don't know if it's going to be 4 or 6 or 8 weeks. Depends on how fast Elizabeth and I move through this. So there's going to be 2 paths to get prizes. Path number 1 is, you know, just normal, answer the question that I'm going to give you down below, and you'll be entered into the drawing for the big prize, which is a famous Amy Reed's crystal canvas art, wonderful diamond painting. Thank you so much. Amy has been amazing as a partner in our collab. So you'll be able to have a crystal canvas of your own if you are the winner. How that's going to work is every video I do and every video Elizabeth does, there's going to be a question. You're going to answer the question down in the comments. The next week, we're going to do a drawing for the finalist from the previous video. So it doesn't mean you're the winner. It means you're a finalist for the final drawing. So make sure every week you're going to have a chance to enter. And this way gives you more chances than just one video to pull from or one drawing. So this way you actually get more chances to win. Number 2 is we're going to do an Earth Day give back to this world. And Elizabeth's going to go into more detail about that to let us know how to win that prize. It has to do with collabing with us to give back to the world and to show us that you have a love in your heart. Now, this is specifically for people who really want to donate to something that gives back. So whether it's Save the Whales, whether it's your favorite, buying some trees, whatever it may be, that you're going to get prizes for. And then there's also going to be a grand prize at the end. So there's 2 ways to win for the 2 different types of people, and you can enter both ways. There's no limit in that area. So before I release the question, I have a question for Elizabeth. So we are going to go back and forth because we both love Golden Girls. So we're going to go back and forth about our puppies because we both love dogs, and about Golden Girls. And so lately I've been having insomnia and I've been watching the Golden Girls, and I'm on a certain season, and I told Elizabeth I was going to ask her this week a Golden Girl question, and it's my own trivia. I don't have trivia cards, and I trust Elizabeth to not cheat, and so I am going to give her this question and it's a camping question. So there is an episode where Rose is camping with the Sunshine Girls, and it is pouring out rain, and so they are camping in their living room. And my question for you, Elizabeth, is how did the camping experience end, and what did Rose end up wearing in that ending? I just wanted to put that out and would love to hear, what you think. And if you guys know this answer, do not cheat and tell Elizabeth. She is going to answer in her video to me what she thinks the answer is. And I know she's probably knows this inside and out, but I just wanted to let you know. Hey everyone, we interrupt this WIP and chat for an update. I actually went to collab school with Elizabeth Ensley while you were watching the WIP and chat. I did finish my one mesh ruler area, and so I will be taking this off tonight, and I will be doing one more so that when we, otherwise I'm never going to get this whole painting done with the mesh ruler while we're doing this collab together. You want to know is about the prizes, and I wanted to talk about how there's two paths to win prizes. The first path is something new. Elizabeth is extremely passionate about the world, about our planet, and about helping both people, plants, and animals and taking it to the next level. She wanted an opportunity, and I'm on board with her. I support this initiative, which is why we're doing the collab for Earth Day, but everything pandemic style is what, 2-3 months delayed. We're right on time for the pandemic, and sorry, I can't. The first path, like I said, is being passionate about the planet and about fish life and birds and plants and people and animals and our environment. And so Elizabeth has put together this amazing package of incentivizing you guys to give back also to our planet. So down below, we have some suggestions if you want of potential places that you can donate to or donate yourself to a charity of your choice. And what that is doing is it's showing us that you have the same passion that Elizabeth and I have. You're taking this diamond painting to the next level, and you're saying, I'm going to go outside the box and I'm going to share a little bit of what I have in order to help somebody else. You pick the number, how much money. We're not, we're not sitting here saying it needs to be big money. What we would like to do then is thank those who do this donation with a gift. And what we're doing is we're doing a drawing of all of those people who do make a monetary donation to either one of the charities down below or the charity of your choice. This is a metal charm that Elizabeth was able to find on Etsy, and she transformed it into a cover minder. It is the Tree of Life. She has said, hey, I want to put these in a drawing, and up to 4 people, not up to, 4 people per channel will win this beautiful cover minder that she made herself. That's just amazing. Elizabeth put her heart into it, and she learned how to make cover minders and using the magnets, and I have my little gnome cover minders. I wish I could use these Tree of Lives, but these are not for me. These are for you. And so 4 winners from each channel will win the Tree of Life. Now what is next is we have a grand prize for this particular path of winning. And this grand prize is a necklace, a Tree of Life necklace. So Elizabeth purchased these with her own finances. She has such a passion for this collab. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I love you. And these in the Etsy, it's handmade, and these are moonstones. And so one winner from my channel and one winner from Elizabeth's channel will be winning this beautiful necklace that was handmade with moonstones. It's gorgeous. And it's got different variances of the stones in it. It's absolutely wonderful. So there will be 5 prizes for each channel, a total of 10 prizes for those who choose the path to think outside the box and give monetary to the charity of their choice. How we prove that is you are going to send us an email. I have the email address right here. So you're going to send an email to us with a screenshot or your confirmation email of the donation that you made. We don't need to see how much it was. We just want to see and confirm that you made a donation to a charity. And so if you would just email that to us, that puts your name in the hat, and at the end of the collab, we will be pulling names out of the hat and giving away the prizes as so, and we'll explain that a little bit later. The second is for those who are just, they love diamond painting, and you're just going to sit here and you're going to collab with us, and you're going to listen to our jokes, and you're going to listen to the WIP and chats that we do, and you're going to, you know, you've already supported a business by purchasing one of Amy's designs. You're already here talking with us. And so we are going to offer well, Amy has actually offered to give one grand prize winner per channel, so it's 2 grand prize winners, a canvas of their choosing, or she's going to choose a canvas. It depends on like the whole pandemic and what she has in stock, different things like that. But you will be getting a canvas. I know Elizabeth posted on her channel that it would be this particular canvas. However, that was before the pandemic. And we also talked about if people already purchased this canvas, why would they want it a second time? So that's where we're at with it. How do you enter that? Over the course, we're going to do a little bit different. Over the course of our WIP and chats, we will be putting a word on the screen with a Bitmoji. And I'm going to put that in right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to take note of that word, and at the end of all of the WIP and chats, when we're done, you're going to submit that quote. It's an Earth Day quote you're going to submit, and if you got all the words right and the quote is complete, not missing any words, then you will be able to be entered in for the grand prize, which is a crystal canvas art painting from crystalcanvas.usa. The Bitmoji I just showed and the word I just showed is the word for this video. So please write it down, and I will keep you posted on how we're going to take that into consideration and have you in for the drawing. Thank you for letting me interrupt, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful time, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. So until next time, be blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.